Elementary School Council within the PTA. It's really hard to believe that this is the final meeting of the year. Before we get started, the minutes from our last ES Council meeting on May 10th have been distributed to you. There is a link to the minutes at the bottom of the agenda that was emailed out. Are there any corrections? If no corrections, minutes are approved as distributed. So this is the time where, before COVID, I would have passed the literal gavel over to Susan Fraze, the incoming elementary school council chair. Yes, there really is a gavel, but don't worry, I physically handed it to her on Monday. Thank you to all the volunteers within our elementary school this year. I want to especially thank those of you who helped within the elementary school council. On the executive committee, I was joined by Susan Fraze, vice chair, Shelley Closa, treasurer, and Amy Howard, secretary. Our grade chairs were also instrumental in accomplishing everything we did in the council this year. For special education, Tara Macris; kindergarten, Michelle Antonidi and Amy Savali; first grade, Whitney Utel; second grade, Kate Carey; third grade, Will Fulton; fourth grade, Christine Tormey, Alexis Gold, and Liz Inslee; and fifth grade, Tara Holbert, Amy Savali, Megan Paisley, and Jillian Liebfried. The grade chairs were my liaisons with 100 class parents across over 30 classrooms. So a big thank you to all those class parents as well. Behind the scenes this year, I was also in almost constant contact with our PTA president, Amy Krause. Her support of me and the elementary school was unwavering, and I learned a lot from her. I also want to thank Susan Fraze and Alana Level for covering for me while I was on leave in the middle of the year. And thank you to all the volunteers who helped with picture day, yearbook, book fair, planning the authors through lecture series, buying gifts for incoming kindergartners, and everyone involved with the elementary school play. Thank you. All of those I just mentioned and countless others have all contributed to making our school such a special place for the children of Bronxville. Our work as volunteers in the elementary school also would not be possible without the support of Ms. Adams, who navigated this past year with me in her first year as principal. Thank you, Ms. Adams. And of course, I want to also thank Mr. Vaglica, our assistant principal, and Dr. Vastola, our school psychologist in charge of the CARE program. Last but not least, thank you to Dr. Kelly for her leadership and willingness to join our meetings to keep us abreast of the latest happenings in the district. With that, I'll hand it off to Susan, who I know will be such a fantastic leader in her role as ES Council Chair. Susan?
Hi, thanks everyone. I'm just going to dive straight into the agenda because I know it's the end of the school year and everybody's ready to move on with life. So up next is, of course, our favorite superintendent, Dr. Rachel Kelly. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Susan, and a big shout out to you, Tara, for all of your support this year and your engagement, and really for the entire PTA Council. It's been extraordinary. And I couldn't ask for a better elementary parent council as I began my superintendency, so thank you. So, you know, a couple of days ago, I might have thought, gosh, what am I going to talk about? I do feel like I have a little something to talk about. So, Canadian wildfires, not something we learned in Administration 101, nor had we learned about COVID. And so, as you can imagine, just like with COVID, health and safety of our children and our faculty and staff is our #1 priority. We are closely monitoring the situation, getting guidance from the Department of Health, as well as from our medical director, Dr. Levitt. And what we know what we're seeing, and it's pretty eerie. And a big shout out to the faculty and staff who help keep the children calm. Because it can be a little scary looking out the window and seeing the colors of the sky and the air, and even some of it coming into the building. We did see some of the smoke in the building. That's going to be inevitable because our filtration system does bring in what is typically fresh air into the building. We do have filters, high-powered filters. We had upgraded all of them due to COVID. And so they should catch the majority, if not all of the particles, but we're still going to smell the odor. And so we are monitoring it. As you know, we have restricted outdoor activity. This is, people and children with respiratory conditions are at risk the most and should not be doing any strenuous activity outdoors. We are bringing all recess and PE classes indoors for the time being. And as you know, the field day was postponed until we hope it will be much clearer next week. So again, we will continue to monitor the situation. We do have masks available for anyone who's more comfortable wearing masks in the building. And I will continue to stay in touch with the community as we learn more over the next few days. Don't hesitate to let me know if you have any questions. Dr. Levitt certainly can be helpful in answering any medical questions. And certainly if you have a child with some respiratory conditions, I would consider just reaching out to their pediatrician. We are, despite this, very excited about all the events going on over the next few weeks in celebration of the end of year. And I look forward to seeing all of you at those events. Happy to take any questions.
Does anyone have any questions? Well, Dr. Kelly, thank you so much for communicating with us. Listen, we got through COVID in such an excellent way. This should just be easy peasy. So we appreciate all the updates and taking care of us and our children. Next up is our newly favorite principal, Rakia Adams.
Good evening, everyone. Always a pleasure to be here. And I just have to reiterate what Dr. Kelly shared. A huge thank you and shout out to Tara for her leadership this year and the PTA Council. You guys are incredible and have truly made my first year as principal extremely easy and have always just been ready to jump in and help at any time. So I definitely appreciate that. So I'm going to keep my portion pretty short as well today. We're wrapping up the year. There's lots going on. As you know, we've had to postpone field day and we're splitting them up across 2 days. So Monday, June 12th will be grades 3 through 5 in the afternoon, so 12:30 to 2:30. And then on Thursday, June 15th, we will have grades K2 having field day in the morning. We also, so because of Spirit, we attached field day to Spirit Day, which I now know is not a great idea to have field day shirts as part of a Spirit Week, because field day can be moved or flexible. So we will now have tomorrow be tie-dye day and Friday will be pajama day. And students are to wear their field day shirts on their scheduled days. Unmakeably premiere is also coming up next Thursday, June 15th. This is a wonderful event for our 4th graders who've worked so hard on their PSAs on anti-bullying. This is great because students make these PSAs and then we get to share them out with the rest of the school. And it also does a wonderful job of speaking to the Bronxville promise and being leaders and innovators and thinking outside the box in terms of how do we best support all of our students. We also have the 5th grade Be the Change presentations coming up next Friday. Again, another tribute to the Bronxville promise. That's Friday, June 16th at 9:30. Kindergartners have their Flag Day coming up, which is great. A wonderful treat to see our kindergartners out there on Flag Day. So that pretty much wraps up. And then the biggest event we have obviously is our 5th grade moving up ceremony on June 21st at 7 p.m. I have had parents ask questions about field day. I'm sorry, moving up, will it be outdoors? Will there be tickets? As of right now, it will be outdoors as far as we know. Hopefully the air quality improves by then and we can have everybody outside. In the event we do have to move indoors, most definitely we will send out a communication on that. We've had to do it in the past, as early as last school year, where we move it into the main gym. If that's to happen, obviously we'll keep everybody posted. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our amazing literacy coach, Rosanna Colonadis, who is here to present on the summer slide and how to avoid it. I think this is a wonderful topic for parents who, you know, the summer begins and we think, uh-oh, what do we do with our kids to make sure that they're still, you know, reading and doing the things that we know that are great to keep them warm and ready for the following school year. So Rosanna, take it away.
Hello, everyone. First, I want to say this is not the slides that I sent, Rakia. Do you have the other? This was the one that you have up right now is for the teachers. Do you have the one that it's titled Ways to Support Your Child's Literacy Growth This Summer? Sorry, I was just like, well, that's for the teachers. So just to let you know, the teachers also receive instruction and support on ways that they can prepare students for the summer. But while Rakia is getting that set up, do you have it? Okay. Yes, I'm Rosanna Colonadis. I'm the K-8 literacy coach in Bronxville, and I'm excited to be with you all tonight. I've been asked to speak about the ways that you can support your child's literacy growth this summer. It's no surprise that once summer hits, there's a summer slide and there is some learning loss. But my hope is that by the end of tonight's presentation, you'll be equipped with ways to prevent that learning loss and maintain your child's literacy gains that they've made throughout the year. How are we doing, Rakia? You're muted. Oh, there we go. Beautiful. Okay, you could go to the next slide. So the most important way to prevent learning loss is to have your child read regularly and throughout the summer. Ideally, 20 minutes a day is wonderful. That would be about 2 hours a week. You could have your child start a book club with friends, family members. You could do a book partnership with them. I greatly recommend having your child getting into a series that they love because that really helps with reading volume and stamina. I've included a list of different series for each grade that you could check out, but obviously visiting the library is another really great option. I also know that over the next few weeks, the teachers will be working with the students to come up with individual book recommendation lists that they can bring home and refer to over the summer. And then in terms of motivating your child to read over the summer, you could certainly gamify it. And we have reading bingo boards for K1 and 2 and for 3 through 5. I've included those links in the presentation as well, but basically the goal is to fill the bingo board by reading in different ways and within different genres. You could also join the library's summer reading program or virtual summer reading programs. Scholastic is one that's linked there. And lastly, your child will have access to Lexia and Raz Kids, which are 2 programs that they use in the classroom currently. So through ClassLink, they can access them over the summer as well. And that's another really great resource. We can go to the next slide. So parents often ask me how they can discuss books with their child. So I've put together 2 handouts here, one for coaching K-2 readers and one for coaching 3 through 5 readers. And these are all prompts that parents can use. So the language is right there for you. And you can think of it as before they start reading, during their reading, and then after they're done with their reading. These are the different prompts that you might ask them. So and right before they even start reading, you might prompt them to look at the cover, read the back of the book blurb, get a sense of the story elements, who are the main characters, what's the problem, and what's the setting. That's a really great way to orient them to the text before they even begin reading. And then during reading, you can pause them to think about what's happening, just check for understanding. You can ask them questions like, how is the character feeling? And how do you know? And then once they finish a book, you might prompt them to retell the most important parts. Think about what's the lesson the character learned. And within these 2 documents, there's several different prompts that you can refer to. So if you're feeling like, you really want to be much like more of a part of their reading, I would suggest using these. And then you could go to the next slide. You don't have to click in unless we want to look at it further, but maybe just the next slide. How are we doing? Okay. Great. So as I mentioned before, getting your child into particular series can lead to greater reading volume and engagement and stamina. So I've included 4 different Padlets here that outline all different series for K-5 readers. I definitely suggest checking these out. I know the teachers might show these to students over the next few weeks as well. Up here on the screen, I have a few books a few series that are great for particular grades. So Big Dog and Little Dog is wonderful for kindergarten. Max and Zoe is great for 1st grade. Astrid and Apollo is a newer series that's really wonderful for 2nd grade. My own 2nd grader loves it. The Clubhouse Mysteries are great for 3rd grade, and just any mystery in general seems to be a great choice for 3rd graders. And then the Lemonade War for 4th grade. That's a really nice series. So the beauty about series is that there's several books within a series. So instead of a child being like, what do I read next? You know that there's a book within that series waiting for them. And sometimes they just can't wait to get to that next book. Additionally, that last link is online decodable books. So those are really great for K-2 readers, as they allow young readers to hone their phonics skills by exposing them to letter sound correspondences that they've already learned. So the online decodable book link will bring you to several decodable texts that K-2 readers can access right there. And you can go to the next slide, please. Okay, so in addition to promoting reading over the summer, there are many ways that you can encourage your child to write over the summer. I think keeping a summer journal where they write regularly about their day or what's happening is a really great idea. You could also encourage them to write letters or postcards to their family and friends. They could write reviews of books or of places that they visited or restaurants that they've gone to. They could write a collection of poems about everything relating to summer. And then there's also the bingo board. Similarly for reading, we have those for writing as well for K-2 and 3-5. And over the next few weeks, the teachers will also be working with students to remind them of all the different units that they had throughout the year. So they've been exposed to opinion writing and narrative writing and informational writing. They've written how-to books and reviews and short stories. So they should also be going home with a list of all the different writing that they will do this summer. So that can be something that you should look out for and just remind your child, like, where's your writing list? Let's take that out and see how we can start getting some of those done. Okay, so another important part of early reading instruction is phonics. So I've included different phonics activities you could do with your child. In grades K1 and 2, students learn high frequency words, which are words that are most commonly used in the English language. Some of them are irregular, like the word the, and some of them are regular, like the word in. Our goal is to make high frequency words sight words that students can read with automaticity. So the first link here will bring you to several different activities that you could do with your child so that they could practice those high frequency words. One of them is just a simple game of tic-tac-toe. My own kindergartner loves that one. It's so easy to do wherever you are. You could also do hopscotch with chalk on the driveway. That's a fun way to practice those words. The second document includes just a chart of ways that students can practice the high frequency words independently. So one of them might be a word hunt. So they could have their high frequency word list out. They could open up a book and then look for particular words and tally them up when they find them. There's also a rainbow write, so they could just write the words in different colors or in different sizes. The last document here provides ideas on how you could play with letter sound connections. For example, you might do an alliteration activity where you and your child come up with a sentence and all of the words need to start with a particular sound. For example, if the sound is, or if the letter is S and the sound is, your sentence might be 7 silly sisters said surprise. So it's just getting them comfortable and practicing letter sound relationships. Half the time they don't even know that they're doing something school-based or, learning. So these are really engaging activities that you can do together. And they're most appropriate for K1 and 2. And these are the links to the high frequency words for kindergarten through 2nd grade. And the teachers, you will probably see these and say, think to yourself that you've already seen them. That's the hope. I'm sure many of you have also seen the sight words or snap words come home, and teachers will also be sending these lists home, but I wanted to make sure you had access to them here as well. And then since summer is all about having fun and play, I really wanted to include some word study games that families can do together. I think that, Bingo and Scrabble Junior and Zingo, Bananagrams, those are all ones that my kids love. And then there's a Quiddler Junior, there's another Quiddler for older kids. Bubble Talk and Play on Words and Blurt are really great for 3 through 5 students to help them practice vocabulary. All of the links are on this document as well if you wanted to check any of those out. And then here is just a chart of some of the resources that I mentioned. The bingo boards for reading and writing, the summer to be read and to be written list, and those are ones that are being developed in class. And then as for phonics, I included some charts that students already use in the classroom, the ABC chart, blends and digraphs, vowel charts, and it might be helpful to have those out while your K-2 reader reads, just because it could remind them of the letter sound relationships as they read or as they write. And there's one more slide. So these are just a few videos that were developed by our Teachers College staff developers, and I included them if you wanted more information on how to support your child with learning high frequency words or spelling in general. So those are there for you to access. But I would say overall, the most important thing you could do with your child this summer is to have them read as much as possible and to make reading an enjoyable, exciting experience. Anything you could do to make it engaging or make it feel as though they're connected to others will really pay off. I hope that this was helpful and informative, and certainly if you have any questions tonight or after tonight, please feel free to contact me.
Thank you so much. We have 2 questions in the chat.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
I will read it. So we are recording this, just quickly, we're recording this meeting, and the slides and the printable links will be in Miss Adams' Friday email. So everybody has access. And then the question is, Karen asks or states, I'm newish to Bronxville and new to these meetings. Has there been any discussion of the issues with the Teachers College Reading Workshop curriculum used in the Bronxville elementary schools?
So I'm going to take that question if it's okay. Good evening. My name is Dr. Mara Ketke. I'm the Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction for the district. Thank you, Rosanna, for that wonderful presentation. So we are very aware of some of the criticism that the Teachers College Reading and Writing Project is that is occurring. And it involves the science of reading, which refers to phonics, phonemic awareness, vocabulary, fluency, and comprehension. But I think you can tell from Rosanna's presentation that in addition to the work we do in the Teachers College Reading and Writing Workshop, we have always had a very strong phonics-based program to incorporate with our children, which helps them to encode and to decode. And in addition to the curriculum that they use for phonics in the classroom, our teachers are trained in multiple interventions for small group work, or even one-on-one instruction, including preventing academic failure, Orton Gillingham, Wilson. So we have people who are strong in their knowledge and in their training about how to make sure our students understand letter sounds, blends, etc., so that they can read well and write well. And in addition to that, you know, we've been doing this work for quite a while, and our ELA scores really reflect a lot of progress. At one point, we only had around 70% or so of students proficient. Now we're closer to the 90s. And the kids have reading assessments anywhere from 3 to 5 times per year where they read with an individual teacher. And we keep very good track of our students' ability to read and read well. And as I mentioned, we have always incorporated a strong phonics-based program along with the work of the Reading and the Writing Project.
Thank you.
Thank you both for being here. I think this is such valuable information. And as a parent that knows your reading program intimately, I can attest that it's excellent in every way. I have followed a little one along the path, and it's a blessing to have y'all. So thank you for all that you do for us, and thank you for sharing the information tonight. We're going to move right along to our care person of all things, Dr. Vastola. Thank you for being here. Oh, before you start, we have one more question. My apologies. It just popped up. Which assessments are we using other than running records, if any?
So we have a STAR reading assessment that the students take 3 times a year. We also do phonics assessments multiple times a year for the students, as well as writing assessments. So students are writing different pieces and they are also being assessed on the writing. So we assess there's much more involved in the literacy assessments than just the running records. There are phonics-based assessments. There is a STAR reading assessment. And there are writing assessments. Rosanna, do you want to talk about how many times per year those occur?
I would say at least at the end of every unit within K-2, we have about 5 reading and writing and phonics units. So at the very least, at the end of every unit, there are assessments happening, whether it's encoding, which is the spelling and developmental spelling assessments, or decoding, which is the reading, the blending, the segmenting, phonological awareness assessments, lots of assessments happening in addition to the running records.
And again, being intimate with that, I think y'all do such a great job in doing the assessments without the children understanding they're being tested. So they feel comfortable, and they, at least the ones I know, have leapfrogged in their reading. I think this will be our last question. Which phonics assessment?
So there are a variety of assessments that are often used. I mean, the main curriculum in K-2 for phonics is the Teachers College Reading and Writing Project phonics-based curriculum. And that was actually chosen. It used to be something called Cool Rules, which was used many years ago. And the faculty actually visited multiple schools and looked at multiple phonics programs, including Explode the Code, Words Their Way, and they selected that curriculum. So all of the students are assessed with those assessments. However, if your child is not doing well by those assessments, then we move into other intervention systems, like we have our teachers trained in MZ, which is the Institute for Multi-Sensory Learning, and they will participate in those programs to close the gaps. And then those assessments would be used for those kids. But by and large, in order to be considered to have mastered something, you need at least an 80%. So we only move to other tiers of instruction and other assessments if they're not mastering it according to an 80% mastery level.
Thank you. I appreciate all of your full explanations and helping
Yeah.
parents
And if
understand.
anyone has any further questions or would like to talk to me further about this, please feel free to email me or call my office and we can set up a meeting.
Thank you for that. Dr. Vastola, we're so happy you're here. Give us
Thanks.
some care.
Okay, I'll be brief. You have a
You're good.
robust agenda. First of all, Rosanna, that was a fabulous presentation. Thank you. You know, it was very motivating and stimulating. And I do want to say, and I said this to Rosanna and Ricky on countless occasions, your kids love to read. Bronxville students love to read. We have a culture of reading in the classroom because frequently before I come in, teachers know as a transitional activity, they set up silent readings so they're in a mode to transition. And it never ceases to please and amaze me when I walk into the classroom and see our students silently reading at their desks. So let me segue. Just want to say that for the older students in the afternoon today, whatever I had planned to teach went out the window because that's where they were, out the window. So meaning that the students I met with today were pretty nervous and anxious about what they were looking at out the window. And I use that as an opportunity to process it, right? As a fourth grader said, this is like the zombie apocalypse. And we just saw it in their level of minor agitation, if you will. So don't be surprised if your children have or want to talk about what's going on. For the 4th and 5th grade, we gave them information so they can have some sense of where these things are occurring and where they're coming from. So I just want to put that quickly on the table. What we're doing the last few weeks in care is, in addition to talking about give skills, which I sent home, we use this time with the kids as a time of reflection. And I've used that word in every grade K-5 with, of course, differential levels of understanding. But I've encouraged them to write about, as best they could with the little ones, and draw in their care journals about the following themes. What are your thoughts and feelings about leaving this current classroom, leaving your teacher, leaving your classmates? So we've processed that with the kids. And within that, I always highlight the fact that there are a variety of feelings, that we can hold 2 feelings at once and multiple feelings at once. The other thing that we've discussed is what they're going to miss, what they look forward to, what are they proud of, and what did they learn about themselves? Because in order to really consolidate an experience and the difficult transition of them leaving their classroom. I mean, today I had a kindergartner who just drew a face with blue tears coming down. We have to, in order to consolidate and learn from it, we have to reflect. And they've been doing an amazing job about talking about it, sharing their feelings. And to just let you know that the end of the school year has a wave, not unlike Elizabeth Kubler-Ross used to talk about. In other words, first there's denial. Oh my God, I can't believe that there's only this amount of time left. Then there's some anger all of a sudden, and this happens with adults too. You're irritable, they're cranky. I can't, my senior Y student says, I can't, the seniors say, I can't wait to get out of this place. Then there's a real feeling of sadness and loss. And finally, as you're able to work through this, and obviously these feelings could come and go, there's a feeling of excitement, looking forward to things and reflecting on everything they've accomplished. So that's what we've been talking about. The children are working on it beautifully. And these are important conversations to have at home as well.
Thank you for that. It's so valuable that we have you and that our children have an outlet and a place to manage their emotions, as we know creates such a successful adult. So thank you, Dr. Bastola. Up next is you're welcome. Up next is the School Foundation. Katrina, are you on?
I'm here. Yeah, thanks,
Oh,
Susan. Hi. Good evening, everyone. As we wrap things up for the year, just a final update to share that this past school year, the foundation has approved more than $500,000 in grants for initiatives in the arts, athletics, STEM, and health and wellness. Many of the grants will be implemented this summer and be up and running by the time students return to school in the fall. Your donations make all of these grants possible, so a sincere thank you to the many school families that have already made a gift to the foundation this year. The foundation's community drive continues until the end of June, so please consider making a donation if you have not already. Our goal is to achieve 100% participation from school families. Thank you for letting me join your council meetings this past year, and wishing everyone a wonderful summer. Thanks.
Thank you, Katrina, and thanks for everything that the School Foundation does. I mean, we are so lucky to be a public school that has the support of the foundation. And I do appreciate your email reminders when to give. So they're very helpful, especially during the busy months. So thank you.
Glad to hear it. Thanks.
Exactly. Okay. So Kristen or Olivia for Character and Community Committee.
Hi, everyone. I'm Olivia. Can you hear me? Yes. All right. Olivia's on as well. Olivia and I have been heading the Character and Community Committee. It's relatively new to the elementary school, but it has existed within the middle school. So first and foremost, we are looking for volunteers. We're looking for volunteers for next year. So if anyone is interested, please get the word out and they can reach directly to Olivia and I. We had one event this spring, which was putting together snack bags for children within White Plains. These children are either homeless or don't really have after school care. They go to a mentoring center, and then this snack really holds them over between leaving school, where they have meals provided, to getting them through the evening. This may be one of their main forms of sustenance. So we had a group of about 15 children a couple of weeks ago with 3 adult volunteers, and it was a really great success. The kids decorated the bags and they stuffed the bags, and then I dropped it off at Lifting Up Westchester out of White Plains. Our next event is around the corner, starts next week, really anniversarying what we did last year, which really kicked off the Character and Community for the elementary school, which is recycling old school supplies. So I know there's another drive going on for new school supplies. This is really for any of those old supplies that the students have had over the year. Instead of bringing even more crayons home, I know I have about like 500 crayons. They can dispose of any of the supplies that they had over the past year. We're really taking everything and anything from glue sticks to rulers, binders, notebooks, and then gently used backpacks. So if you have a backpack that's been gently used, that's not monogrammed or personalized. We'd love to take that as well. And what we will do with these supplies is we're going to sort them with some students, and then these are going to be donated to some inner city schools within the city, as well as in Lower Westchester. So it's a really great cause. And there are so many schools that are in need of the supplies, and we're lucky to have them. So the boxes will be placed not only in the canopy, but also throughout the school. So we're going to make it easier for the students and the teachers as they're emptying their classrooms and their lockers, just to dispose of those items. And then a Sign Up Genius is going to go out for students who may have some time. Those last 2 half days, I know everyone's ready to get out of school, but really just need an hour of their time to probably sort through these supplies, and then we will we'll donate them over to the other schools.
Thank you so much for all that you do. I mean, it's always wonderful that we can give back and that our children can participate as well.
Absolutely, and we're looking for ideas. So any ideas, send them our way.
Okay, perfect. Well, we will remember that and help think of some good ideas. Tatiana, are you on to talk to us about DEI?
Yes, I am. Hold on a second.
Great.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. Just a quick reminder, this Saturday is the rain date for the Holy Color Run, which was supposed to happen back in April. It is a 1 mile color run. Tickets are still being sold, and I believe you can still purchase them the morning of. It is Saturday, June 10th. Check-in is at 8 a.m. and the run starts at 9. It's 1 mile, right? The check-in is at the, elementary school canopy, and it's Midland Avenue will be closed off for this. So it's really nice. Bring your children. It's totally family friendly. Wear white or light colored clothing, hopefully clothing that you're not too fond of. And it'll be fun. Run, walk, or jog. That's it.
Thank you so much. And thank you for creating this fun event for our community.
Thank you.
So we're wrapping up, and I just have a couple people could not come. And I just have a few things to read that they sent to me. So the chess club, on May 20th, our chess club hosted a chess tournament for K through 12th grade with over 160 children competing from Westchester towns and Manhattan. Bronxville had 21 students that won several trophies in the following categories: booster, grades 4 and above, most competitive rated section. Second place, primary, grade 3 and above, more competitive rated sections. Third place, grade 2 through 3, unrated, first place. Grades K through 1, unrated, first place. Congratulations to our chess players for competing in the tournament. How exciting for our guys and girls to take part and to have it here. Next up, we have Bold. Bold wants to thank everyone for participating in our events this year and let them know that we will continue our Coffee and Connect coffee hours in the fall. We hope to have a speaker for the fall event focusing on executive functioning. Thank you for participating in the Bold at this school. And then to kind of wrap it all up, Amy Krause, who is our PTA executive chair, is at the middle school concert tonight. And she has a little note to say as well. Good evening, everyone. I wanted to quickly thank Tara, Rakia, Anthony, Rachel, and all of the parents of the elementary school council who have made this year so special. Truly, everyone has worked tirelessly. I also want to thank the parent body for all the support you have given the PTA this year. This is our first full year out of COVID, and we are back and up and running and providing all of our regular programming and then some. And that wouldn't be possible without all of you. I wish you all a wonderful rest of the school year. And then we're just closing out. I'm your incoming chair for next year, Susan Fraze. Just so you know, 2 things about me. I have a son in 9th grade, John. I have twins, Gigi and Fulton, in 3rd grade, and my husband, Woody, who grew up here in Bronxville. I'm excited about my role and look forward to working with everyone. Please know the Elementary School Council is a conduit, parents and school working together. Please feel free to contact me for any suggestions, help, and hopefully to work with us. We all look forward to serving you next school year. More on the PTA closer to the new school year. And for now, I'd like to thank Tara Hansen for all her hard work with the council and for guiding us along the way. Thank you to Ms. Adams and Mr. Baglica for partnering with the council and making space for us. We look forward to a productive and fun school year in 2023, 2024. And I hope everyone enjoys the end of the school year and has a wonderful summer. That is it for this school year in the council meeting. Have a good night, everyone. That's it for us.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Have a good
Great
night.
job, everybody.